All right, so I finally got the hand wheel turned enough that I could move on to doing something with it on the rotary table. And as you can see, I've got the rotary table secured to one of the mills there. Unfortunately, this rotary table doesn't seem to take any of the T-nuts that anything else that I have takes. So I'm starting in on that little project. Or actually, technically, I'm probably about halfway through that little project on the Cochrane Bly at the moment. But anyways, I figured I would just kind of bring you guys along for a little bit of an update, and I'll grab the hand wheel thingy here and I'll show you what it looks like. So what I originally had thought I was going to do was I was going to try and cut out these sections here to kind of make it look, well, what can I say, a little bit like something like this. But I figure that's going to be a little bit too much work. So what I'm going to do is, once I get these T-nuts situated, I'm just going to cut some scallops, probably 24 of them, since I can space to 24 on this rotary table, and just cut those down and use it like that, I suspect. And then eventually I'll probably also, drill and tap for a little handle on here. But the web of this right now is thicker than I want it to be. I think it's in the range of, or just under ½ inch thick. I was wanting to get it down to about 1/4 of an inch thick, but the deeper this gets, the harder it gets for me to make the cut with the tooling that I've got. So we'll see. It's one of those things I can revisit later. So we'll get to that. Well, maybe I'll get to it, maybe I won't. We'll see. It'll work the way it is. But after my fiasco trying to do my parting operation with the hole saw operation, this is why. This is a whole bag, an entire bag full of aluminum curly fries, basically. And that's just the stuff I could collect. So, at any rate, I wound up chewing my way through it. So now I'm tinkering with T-nuts. I'm trying to make 3 of them. So I've got myself set up with a piece of steel that's a little more than 3 inches long. As it stands right now, I've got this side cut out. I think I'm down to depth, and I think I've got my width the way I want it. So I've flipped the part around, and I'm going to start working my way through the back side of it. Using a 7/8 inch high-speed steel cutter, 4-flute cutter, and I've got this thing cranked up to its 330 RPM max. And I mean, I'm trying to use the bigger cutters to maximize the value of the slow speed on this machine, but it's still, it is what it is. It gets the job done, but it's not as quick as, running it on a higher speed. So at any rate, I'm going to start to dial in start to dial the Z up and start cutting this. And if you guys have a fast forward button, this would be a good time to start pressing it. So here we go. I'm going to dial up a little bit more on my Z-axis. And then I'm going to take a pause and I'm going to measure the width of this and make sure that I don't need to make any more passes in this direction. Alright, so I'm going to measure this real quick and compare it to the rotary table and see if I've got the width I need or if I need to thin it down a little bit more. And once I've got that measurement, I'll grab the camera off the stand and kind of bring you guys in for a little bit of a close-up shot. But you pretty well get the gist of what I've got going on here. Everybody's seen T-nuts being built before, so this isn't anything new, and watching me do it is a little bit like watching the grass grow. So 450. Oh yeah. Yeah, it should be just about perfect. My T-nuts are going to be about 10 thousandths undersize of the slot. So hopefully it's going to work out like a champ. This was 3/4 inch thick mild steel by, I believe it was 2 inches wide, or maybe it was 1.5 inches wide. So anyways, I mean, there ain't much to it. And this is what I was using for my spacers to get the parallels to get my height set. I'll show you the metal that I was using. That was this guy here. I think it's about 3/4 inch thick by 1.5 inches wide. So anyways, I think it's going to work out just fine, and hopefully I'll get through this before the end of the day. I probably won't have anything video related as far as working on that today, but we all know how, the whole thing goes of build a tool to make a project. So anyways, that's it for today.